Welcome, everyone. We're back at the rewatch. We are through 4 episodes of this, and now we are getting to the one that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. Episode 5. We're going through the first third of it today, and special guest all the way from the other side of the world, Aldan. Welcome, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, Dane. Doing good, mate. Yep.
So, in order to accommodate this, sadly, we're not drinking because it's very early in the
Yeah.
morning for us.
Yeah.
But Dan, you're drinking enough for the
I
rest of
am.
us, right? Excellent.
That is
We just
correct, Dane. That is correct. I started hours ago, mate. I've been preparing for this when I knew that we'd have to change the time frame. I thought I'd have to step up to the plate and get smashed in preparation. So we're ready to go.
excellent, and we're hungover. So usually I ask kind of what Pips and Alex are drinking, but I presume it's coffee right now.
Yes.
Um, you got to tell us, Dan, what you're
Yeah.
drinking specifically,
I'm
and then you got to
drinking a
kind of go.
yeah. I'm drinking a delicious Shiraz.
Oh,
It's
nice.
yeah, just from the down in South Australia somewhere down here in the land down under. We make some very nice red wines down here, mate, in the right type of country. And yeah, anyway, I'm drinking that,
Yeah,
and I'll be drinking that for the rest of this for sure.
fantastic. And the other thing we ask is of our guests is their connection to the Wheel of Time. So
Yeah.
when did you first
Uh,
get into it, and what's the series mean to you?
yeah, good question. I mean, back in the 90s, mate, like when it first came out, actually, look, I won't lie, I stole this from the library when I was in about year eight, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how that works out for you guys, relatively speaking, but we go through sort of like six grades, like from prep one, two, three, four, five, six, and then high school year seven, year eight.
Hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that I first started reading this in about year eight because I pinched it from the library. It was a book. I was going through a phase where I was stealing stuff, and I pinched this. It was just random, mate. It was flat out random. Like I stole this book out of the library and I got it home and I started reading it. I was just like, this is mad. And
But was it the first book though?
yeah, yeah, it was the first book. So the Eye of the World, and that was the end of it. I just kept reading year
do you
by year
still
by year by
have
year.
do you still have the one that you filched?
That I pilfered, the one that I pilfered? No, 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 I don't. Mum found it, mate. I got heaps of shit, eh? Like I
Eh,
got in heaps of trouble.
I just want to
Absolute
say
ass.
I just
Yeah.
want to say that there are way worse things to steal than a book. That's
Oh,
you know what? Hey, I mean like we're asked these days to really look the other way for a lot of thieving, at least
yeah,
in certain parts of the
yeah,
U.S. And
yeah. You are.
stealing a book, like, hey man, that's
Yeah, it's a bit
go
tame.
go out and go out and better yourself. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's it, mate. Yeah, it's a bit different than what you guys have to deal with. That's for sure.
So
But
how many books were out when you first started reading them then?
oh,
Or
I think there wasn't many, so it was like 90. It was maybe so 96 maybe I reckon when I started.
okay,
When did when did the first one drop, Dane?
uh,
91.
91, and then
Yeah.
then he
So
was churning them out at about 9 months apart. So in 96, I think Fires of Heaven or Lord of Chaos would have already been out, and I think
yeah, that sounds
Travis.
about right. I reckon
Yeah,
Lord of Chaos because I remember going like bang, 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 bang up until about Lord of Chaos. There's definitely after Do
yeah.
My Wells, I had to wait for a bit, so I remember that.
Man, what a
Mm,
spot to have to wait at.
yeah, absolute damn straight. Like seriously, that was a shit place to have to stop, but it is what it is. And then when he finished, like when he died, and
Mm.
I remember I was devastated. Like I was like, well, that's the end of that. Like that's the best story ever told. It's never gonna finish. And then, do you know what? Like I remember as a young man working, I was like flying through airports and stuff, and we're going through an airport in Adelaide in Australia, and I was just like on another business trip type thing, whatever, just walking through the airport. This was, I don't know, whenever Brandon Sanderson picked it up, I didn't know that was happening, right? So like I had no idea
Hmm.
that this was ever going to get finished, and it was my favorite story that I'd ever read. And I've read all the fantasy stuff, like all of it. And I'm walking through the airport, and I see this book just like on one of those stands in the airport, The Gathering Storm, and I was like, and it was like, what was it? Robert. Jordan by Brandon Sanderson or whatever. Like, you know how they had like
Yep.
both of their names on the first book
Yeah.
when it came out, and I did a double take. I walked past and I was like, bullshit. And I did a double take, and I turned around. I was like, what? And this was years later. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure. It was a long time after I'd already decided that this was never going to happen. And I picked it up, and I was like, yeah, I've got to be shitting me. And I was on my way to the Philippines for work, and so I was like, well, I'm going to read this clearly. And so I picked it up, and then that was that. And then that was a long time ago. And then now we are here, where they are destroying the greatest story ever told, and fuck Amazon. Yeah.
So you
Well,
actually you have the sort of two sides of the spectrum there. You have the unexpected surprise of getting the story
Yes,
respectfully done when you didn't
that
expect that
is
it
correct.
had any reason to think that, that would happen. And then you have the unexpected surprise of someone literally just just taking something you love and just desecrating it.
Yeah, man. It's yeah, correct.
So,
It is both sides of the yeah aisle. It's nuts.
sounds like a real
that's
roller coaster of a fan experience.
Yeah, but it's been cool too, man, because like I've got kids and like I'm a single dad, and so like I've been able to take my kids because I was so excited, man, when they're making this show because they love shows and shit. Like kids love TV, whatever.
yeah.
They hardly read and stuff, and so like when they're making a Wheel of Time show and they're putting a shitload of money into it, I was like, this is wicked. I can get my kids into my favorite thing ever, right? Finally, after all these like years of trying to get them to read books, which they won't do,
Ugh.
it's like, oh, sweet, we can get them to watch the show. And then the show comes out. I'm like, this is fucking pus. What is what the hell is going on? And then and so the silver lining in the cloud, and this is the silver lining, is that like now they're reading the books. Like my son is like right into it. Yeah, he's like three-quarters of the way
Fantastic.
through the Eye of the World, and he's
Nice.
like going that, and he's come back to me. He's like, Dad, this is bullshit. Why didn't they do this? Where's Elias? Where's this? Why hasn't Perrin got an axe? Like he's like flat out. He's like, Dad, this is a travesty. So that's the silver lining in the cloud, yeah. So that's a bonus.
So you said something before we went live about one of your kids making some notes for you for this
Oh yeah,
recording.
that's yeah, that's my daughter. She was like trying to get out of going to bed because she's a bitch like that. And she's mate. I've gone through here. We're watching the episode. And she's like, she's noticing stuff that I wasn't noticing. So yeah, which is cool. Mm.
Oh man, I love it. From the mouth of babes, right?
Yes, correct.
Uh, I don't know, Dane.
Uh,
What do
th-
you think?
I think this is fantastic. Like that is a silver lining to all this, and the fact that like we come together to hate on this show, and we found each other, and we kind of found a community. Um, the only lamentation, and I've said this a couple of times, is that if the show was actually good, I still think you would get more people
Oh,
interested
for
in reading the
sure,
books,
I
100%.
agree.
because
I agree.
they'd want to read ahead and they want to kind of know where the story goes. But um,
Yeah.
the only people that are picking it up are ones that have a connection to someone who's read the book series and was legitimately offended by the show and needs to basically come out and say, no, that show is not the story. This story is actually quite good. Fuck the
Yeah.
show. Read this book and I'll prove it to you. And that's
Yeah.
what's happening. And
Yeah.
everybody is like, all right, and then they start reading it, and all they have to do is kind of get through the first couple of chapters, and wham, like it hits you like a ton of bricks, and it just doesn't let go, that book. So that much is good.
No, it really doesn't, and it makes you appreciate that first book so much more. Hey, like I never really, I'm not even sure that in I've read this series like 25 times, yeah, and the
Yeah.
last three books I've probably read 50. Like honestly, like it's my go-to comfort sort of books. When life goes to shit, I'll go back and read Gathering Storm through till Memory of Light. That's what I do, right? But
Okay.
yeah, that's seriously like I love it. I love what Brando did to the end of it. And but I've
Yeah.
read it the whole thing like a bunch of times, and I've but never ever. But since the show came out, right, the first book, like I've never actually really enjoyed it since that first time. Like proper enjoyed it, as in haven't skipped anything or whatever to get
Hmm.
to the stuff that I really care about. Yeah, that's never happened. But like this time through after the show on this reread, I have read every word and I've appreciated every word so much. It's been extraordinary, and I've loved it so much.
Yeah, I reread The Eye of the World drunkenly right after the show, and I think I gave kind of I put it up on the Reddit, my brain enema. But no, I'll say I've read The Eye of the World probably more than any other book because what
Yeah.
really got me was all the foreshadowing and all the hints and the clues.
Yeah,
Because
that's crazy. That's nuts.
yeah,
I've picked up so much more things this time, mate, like, from reading it properly. It's been really cool.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyways,
Shall we?
I say let's get started on this. So we're gonna go through the first third. We're gonna try and get to Logain getting peppered with cabbages, I think. And we'll play by ear where we're going to do our mid-episode break. Please, audience on YouTube, please bear with us. We're hungover because we did a stream last night. Aldan is drunk enough for all of us,
And
hopefully. Um, so he'll be providing the comedy. And with
Done.
that,
Get yourself a deal, sir.
all right, let's get going. Pips, you're controlling the pause button this time, right?
Yep. All right, let's do it.
Fantastic.
I don't think we're all prepared for this.
We're not.
No.
This is
Not.
apparently
Oh my
the
God,
amazing soundtrack
music.
of this show, by the way, is what people online say. This
Oh,
is
this,
this
di- di-
is
this. Do you know what they were doing here? They
All
were
right, keep
doing,
pause.
yeah, pause it. They were trying to do this, like, okay, so they're setting up. They're setting up between, like, this is what they think it is. This is what they think balance is. Like, they're trying to set up something that, like, only a woman can do at the start here with this, like, singing with this note, and then something that happens at the end of this episode, right? They're trying to create this juxtaposition between something that a man can do and something that a woman can do. And that's how they want to try and, like, on this show. I remember watching something. I think it might have been Rajanor. I'm not sure. Someone was a long time ago, but they were talking about this, and they're saying that they were trying to set this up. They're trying to, like, show this balance between the genders, right? Which
What?
completely complete bullshit. But it's complete nonsense. But apparently, that type of song is some sort of traditional song that only, like, a woman can hit that note or something. And then at the end, we've got what we get, yeah, which is like this
The
Korean
nipple
thing.
tweaking.
Yeah, but so forget about the nipple. Or I know it's hard to because it's very much scarred in their memories. But you forget about, think about the sound. So that bass sound from the traditional Korean sort of funeral rites or whatever it is, which is what that was, like a depiction of
The
that
throat
really
singing?
deep. Yeah, the throat singing, that really deep bass stuff. That is something that only a man can do, right? And at the front here, we've got this, like, what only a woman can do. They were trying to create this, like, balance thing. That's what they interpreted as in, like, okay, you've got this entire 100,000 words of like of like how
And that
the genders, like, work and don't work against each other to create this balancing type of, schism between everything. But we're just gonna, like, put some, like, notes of two people singing, and that's how we're gonna do it. It's just fucked up.
but
Sorry.
As
Yeah.
different as possible, as far apart as possible.
I know, like
That's
Yes.
yeah.
communicate better, but
If you wanted to do this right, I mean, you'd have it almost like back to back, right? Like you'd have women
Yes.
and men singing separately and then together in this funeral ceremony. That's how you would do it.
what?
That's right. Exactly.
Why do we even have these funerals? There's
True.
like three
True.
fucking funerals
It's
in this episode.
it's
This is like
ridiculous. I'm just saying, like, if somebody was actually like, oh man, I got a big brain idea, guys. We got this great idea. It's really gonna bring it home. We're gonna have women singing in this sort of high pitch, women's voice, and then we're gonna have men singing in low tone, and it's really gonna bring it home, guys. Everyone's gonna get it. And then someone's like, okay, yeah, so you put those together, you kind of juxtapose them against each other, right? And they're like, actually, I want to put them in two separate episodes. And then somebody like responded, is like, I don't know, they have to be at least in the same episode.
All right, put it the opposite ends. Opposite ends. Opposite ends. That'll make sense.
Oh
Fuck.
man.
Dan, I think you made like a phenomenal point here, which is just like, why? No,
Yes.
it's
nobody who's not following you directly on Twitter is going to get this.
it's
It's
just
going to be
a
like,
laughably bad idea, and it's so good. I love that.
it speaks to the conceitedness and the self-centeredness of these people. They're like, Well, yeah, I mean, obviously everybody watching this show is going to follow me on Twitter for answers, like to what we're doing. Like,
Oh, man.
no, that's not how that works, you fucking moron.
It's
Yeah, well,
Alex, I think you've said
correct.
this before that a lot of the stuff in this show is like literally like someone making an art film in like film school and like the way they do transitions, the way they do it's all of this like overly sort of complicated and like
Yeah,
overly done
wanky shit.
Well,
effects and I mean
yeah, Alex noted in episode one when they did the Chinese lantern thing that they seem to have an obsession with some obscure cultural
also
rite
that
from somewhere else in the world, and then they'll just ape it. So
Yep.
at the end of this, we get the chest beating,
yeah.
nipple tweaking grief funeral.
Yeah, the Korean
I
thing.
heard
Yep.
are they doing like a Borderlander funeral here, like shroud into the earth,
Okay,
last embrace of the mother?
we'll get to that for
Well,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
they're
But
doing
they're trying to, but they're not doing it well, right?
I mean they're doing a strong competitor for shittiest shallow grave since Gaul.
Dude, they're not. Yeah, true.
Like
The
that
wolves are going to eat all these people
that
soon.
dude,
But
like look at that dude's body in there. His shoulders
He's
are
not
not
even up.
even like underground.
Yep,
Like
correct.
he's
He's just literally laying on the grass, mate, just having a sleep.
yeah.
Like, fuck.
It's like they literally could have just laid them on top of the ground. It would have been equivalent.
Yeah.
all right, should we play any more
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
good lord.
Where did they get all that white cloth? Were they prepared for half their like a bunch of people to die?
Probably.
Have a silkworm farmer in the corner.
Why did he put the helmet on his chest?
I
What the
was
Fuck, I know.
I was
Dude, where's it gonna go?
gonna, and here we go. Everyone's favorite.
Fucking Steppin.
Oh man.
Am I the only one that feels this is cruel? Like, why are
Which
you
part?
like making Stepin carry the water body? Like, yes, please carry this testament to your failure. Like,
Especially after he didn't go berserk and like kill himself trying to avenge her.
That is pretty
It's
rough.
super, it's super cruel.
Why is it snowing?
Yeah, it was like springtime like
No,
three
I think
seconds
it was
ago.
fall, but this is
That
the only shot where it's, well, other than the placenta snow. This is the only winter scene in the whole show.
that's
Uh
actually a
This
good point, man. Like in episode 4, what was the terrain like? It wasn't like
no.
this at all.
No,
It
like
was
Not even,
forested.
yeah,
And this
it
is
was
a lot more
yeah.
forested, and
sparse.
the trees were maybe going a little bit bare, so maybe it was fall in the Czech Republic, and they happened to film this after a snowstorm, and they go, oh, cool, but why?
All right, so
Yeah, why?
let's
Yeah.
see here. When they get to bury the bodies, 'cause I didn't remember snow on the ground when they did the burial. Okay, so they've
It's
cleared
around
it.
the
Yeah,
outside.
they've cleared. Why?
Who cleared it?
imagine imagine doing
Who?
that. Go sweep the snow off this grass.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that the Aes Sedai did this with the One Power, or do you think they made the warders do it?
They're too traumatized, mate. There's no way they did it. They're
Uh,
traumatized from Karenin.
that's that's some real
Karenin.
shit there. There's like a joke in the military if somebody screwed up and you make them go like sweep the parking lot or something like that. It's like, look, I don't want to see you. Go outside, sweep outside, and like I'll tell you when I'm okay to see you without murdering you. and
That's
and
what it is.
apparently the warders were out there sweeping the fucking parking lot.
you let the army get to us. They broke through. You didn't protect Karenni. Now you suck.
Oh man, this is fantastic. Okay, none of those other ones have bodies in them. I don't think, right?
No,
Like
no.
they
Some of them maybe, like the wrapped up or whatnot.
no. I mean,
But
I
One on
mean,
the right,
they're meant to
maybe.
look like it's a body wrapped up, but we saw them laying the cloth on top of them. Look how much deeper the holes look now. Like the actors were not asked to stay laying in the hole for those shots.
Yeah, it might be pretty cold actually.
Who digs? It doesn't. Who digs a 2 foot hole? Like it's not even. It's the one on the right here. His fucking nose is sticking up over the ground, like flat out. Seriously, it is. Look at that. It's like over the ground. Old mate here on the left, bottom left. He's under. All right, by an inch. Like fuck you. Like this is bullshit.
If they had done a funeral pyre, it would have made way more sense than this.
100%. Yeah,
Guys,
100%, man.
I don't think
Although-
there's any action that they could have taken that would have made less sense than this. Like they could have just left him out, and at least they wouldn't have made the effort digging out 6-inch graves.
Oh
But you
man,
wouldn't.
I got a question.
Why would you?
Where the fuck is the dirt that they dig out?
nowhere.
With the snow. Yeah, it's with the snow.
It got swept.
Just
It got
fucking-
swept to the side.
Yeah, it got
Oh.
swept. Correct.
Fuck this show.
She's contemplating a braid tug for. This is one of those I feel like someone is like, oh, she's supposed to like tug on her braid. It's like when
Yeah,
she's angry, like what?
Why would she be angry now, though? That's
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
she's those freaking rings.
yeah, they're proper disgusting. Again, I heard someone talk about this too, which I don't know what you guys reckon, but someone said a while ago that for TV, and Alex, you're probably the expert in this particular area, but like they needed to like make them bigger so that they would like show up on TV or whatever, and it would be obvious. I think that's bullshit. But what's the source on that?
I mean, if you're an idiot, like I mean, it's not like they don't actively flash them around. Like, there's no difference between giving you this sort of close-up shot of a subtle ring versus a giant ring. Like,
Yeah, I heard
Well-
the same argument, and yeah, I think Alex is 100% right. Like close-up shots are used in the show.
Yeah.
We just saw a close-up shot of the ring.
Yeah, true. Yeah, and it was massive.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Guys, this is the first minute of like 20 minutes of this that we're getting in this whole episode of Steppin.
Here. I was gonna say blink and you'll miss it, but literally, I blinked and we missed it. That was the only time Lan. That was the only time we ever see Stoic Lan.
Yeah, true. And he still showed more emotion than he should have, to be frank.
What's with the candles? Why are they putting candles on top of them?
I don't know, but I gave my daughter one of those to go to bed tonight, mate. Like it's the same shit that I bought from Kmart for $2.50.
Okay, terrible at pausing that.
I like how the candles look like shit too.
That is bullshit. Why is Moraine right? Why is Moraine fucking dishing out some like Borderlander custom, right?
Yeah, it's a
That's
Shinaran,
what it is.
I have a
Shannarian bloody burial custom.
I have a
And they're
theory
supposed
about
to
it.
be unshrouded. They're supposed to be buried naked. And
We're not-
why is Moraine
Thank-
saying this?
Well,
And
fucking God,
also,
we don't
she
see
leaves
Karenni
off.
naked.
Well, whatever, but that's the custom. And if we're doing like a Borderlander sort of, like a Shinaran cultural sort of thing or whatever, okay, fair enough. Why is Moraine doing it? I can't see no Shinarans around. A, B, where's the second part of the saying? Like, we're gonna shelter in the palm of the Creator's hand or whatever. So what?
I think that's more specific to what Rand says to Ingtar, but I think the last embrace of the mother, yeah, that is a Shinaran or a Borderlander thing. Karenni, I think canonically might be a Borderlander, like that's implied, although I don't think it specifies from which Borderland she's from. But everybody else they're burying here is from Gildan, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Well, they don't care about them.
Well, they're still
except
except
that
to
they
bury
did
them.
or to bury them.
So I have a theory
2
about
foot graves.
why Moraine says that. So it was probably a line that was written for land because all the Borderlanders are the same and you just mix them all up and it doesn't matter, right? Because that's the way the show treats the Borderlands.
Yeah.
So it's probably a line that was written for land, and then when they were going to shoot this, they looked at it and they were like, "Shit, guys, we're 3 minutes into this episode with the recap, and Moraine hasn't said anything yet."
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Fuck. Oh, oh no.
I could get right on that.
You're probably right, mate.
There's the shallow grave behind it. Again, that's not a body. Like
No.
they put like that's you putting a couple pillows under your blanket when you're a kid trying to sneak out of your room. Like that's not fooling anyone.
No.
True
One
enough.
one of my kids is probably doing that right now.
Fucking Steppin. Damn it.
Yeah,
Like,
what a waste of a good actor.
okay. Steppin is honestly being more stoic here than we've seen Land. Like Steppin, with the grief of the death of his Aes Sedai, is holding it together this well. Like, this is not showing the depth of what it is to lose your Aes Sedai. And I know they're gonna say, yeah, but he kills himself later. Like,
Yeah, but he should have killed everyone.
first of all, can we just bring up the idea that apparently the only way this show knows how to drive home emotion is to kill a character.
That's true. You can't
So
argue with that.
so you have to fridge characters to like see
Yeah.
see emotional weight. See, it's like, guys, like you could just make us care about good character. You could just write good character. That's an option.
That would take talent, mate. That would
I was
take
gonna
some kind of yeah. That would
Red,
take
Red
skill.
Junkins is just fat gay Zack Snyder. Like that's
uh,
I'm dumbfounded by this entire arc. Like people talk about this episode like it's something good. Like it's like, see, it's showing the Warder bond and like the
Yeah, nah.
emotions behind it.
Fucking
And you're sitting there like, you know what would have been phenomenal for showing the emotions? Him going insane, going into a berserker rage, and just
yeah.
like either getting killed, killing like 30 people, or
yes.
him
Yes.
running off and us just or all the Warders, being sad and explaining to Nynaeve that he's going to go fight in the Blight and try and kill the Dark One with an axe because that's how crazy he's going.
Okay,
Like,
I want to describe a scene for you.
100%.
I'm going to describe a scene for you with one word, and it's going to be like you're going to hear the word and say, "Yep, that's what should have happened. These guys are idiots." Okay, the one word is going to be Boromir.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just fighting literally everything
not
with like
hard, eh?
7 arrows in his body and just like continuing to just kill.
It's not hard. It's really not hard. It's really not hard. What it's considering how much like time and space they put into like we want to explore this particular aspect of the Wheel of Time, right? The water bond, these things, like they really did say, look, we're all about the Aes Sedai, we're all about the bond, we want to explore this relationship. And then they get one moment. They create a moment from a bullshit character that doesn't even exist in the fucking story, right? Where they can actually do that. And I'm like, okay, do it. But no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not
Yeah.
You know
like
what's
Alex said, mate, they could have just gone berserk. They could have let him go nuts. They could have let him just destroy
Well,
everything. They could have let him hack at a tree for 20 minutes. That would have been better than what we
they
got. It's
they
fucking
also
to be fair, he did go berserk and he nearly fucked up everything, right? Because axes can go through shields, and if it wasn't for
yeah, but
Super Saiyan Eve, like everyone would have been dead.
yeah,
So
true. Yeah, but he would. But hang on, but he didn't go berserk until he got to the cave, which is
true
nonsense.
enough.
He
Yeah.
should have gone berserk in the forest, and
yeah.
maybe the axe hit the fucking non. Maybe the axe hit Logain in the cave from there. But
So
yeah,
so the other thing to point out here with this episode focusing on the water bond is it actually gives you a wrong impression, right? You get this whole thing where like
that's right.
the warders aren't worthy of their Aes Sedai. You get all this weird sad story shit. Whereas like contrast that to the books where we learn about the water bond, which is Lan, Moraine, and Nynaeve on the road going to free Perrin and Egwene. And the like the subtle things that you get about the water bond, sort of the fact that they're a team, right? The sort of work among equals. That you get subtle things like Moraine always knowing exactly where Lan is, even when she can't see him, and turning to face towards him coming into a clearing before he actually comes in. Like those types of things would have worked really well in a visual medium, and could have actually shown a lot about the bond.
How about this? For a fucking show that seems obsessed with love triangles, you kind of have a love triangle. It's not really a love triangle because we don't have like Moraine and Lan. There's nothing sexual there, but that is the dynamic, right? Lan belongs to Moraine. They have this bond. It's a tight relationship, and Nynaeve is kind of wondering how she fits into that, and how is that ultimately going to resolve itself.
Yeah,
you want to have a cool kind of fantasy love triangle, for lack of a better word, and they don't explore that whatsoever.
Well, it's because Moraine had to have a different thing.
There were other implications to that.
It's a love quadrangle now.
Here you go. They're looking at each other. They're sharing each other's thoughts, guys. The water bond, it's so strong, guys.
But it's still about Steppin. Wait. Does he have a fucking scar on his neck now?
His fucking hair looks good, bro. His hair looks good.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's dried blood. I think.
He didn't clean off the blood? Why didn't he clean off the
That
blood?
on his neck. That is blood on his neck, you're right.
All the other blood disappeared, though.
What is... Okay, Alex, what do you think about the blocking in this shot here with Rain and Lan? Alright, so here they are. Here they are, face to face, because you can see her. You can see the back of her head. They're standing there, right?
Yep.
He's going to turn and walk away. She kind of moved. Okay, maybe fair. But there she is. So she started walking away. He started walking away. She's immediately facing the opposite direction and several feet farther away.
Yeah, and there's a dude in between her and her line of sight with Lan.
What the fuck?
Steppin's in her fucking line of sight.
Yeah, she definitely would have stepped into that hole had she taken the step that
we saw her take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly,
two options. Either off camera, she comically just ate shit and fell over there and just popped back up again. It's like nobody saw that. Or Lan is not the only one who can teleport. It's a thing they can all do.
Well, she discovered traveling far too early and did not show anyone.
And that one on the right, is anyone buying that those are feet? Or like that's just the body just ends and then there's a little fluff of the
No, I'm not buying
none of those are bodies.
Dude, the local coyotes are gonna eat so good tonight.
Yeah, let's just pause for the amazing dramatic effect of the unbelievable cinematography of Amazon's Wheel of Prime.
Yeah. Look at just what we're seeing here, right? So all of the women,
why they did this show.
All of the women are literally in the middle of the circle, and all of the men are literally on the outside of the circle looking in towards the women.
Steppin.
Yeah, he's sort of halfway in between. I guess
he's got to go take his place over there on the right.
I guess Nynaeve is on the outside.
I think they're all looking at Steppin actually. My bigger question though is which of the Aes Sedai did the math and went, all right, we have 40 dead bodies. So we're gonna need an inner circle of 20, an outer circle of 20. We're gonna want a 70-foot diameter circle, probably a 20 diameter inner circle. It's interspaced, of course.
It's worse than that.
And whoever sweeps the snow, you better do it in a circle too.
It's worse than that. They left a gap in the top of the circle for them to walk into the middle.
And out, yeah, correct.
for
Fucking hell.
for this shot.
Yes, for this shot. This is what this is. This is a show. They're literally looking for these moments, right, where they can put some kind of symbol that they think is really cool, and everyone else is just watching it going, I fucking just want the story that I read like 1,000 times and I think is really cool. But they're like,
Let's
I'm gonna make this really
Like,
cool shot, mate. And you're gonna
let's
love it.
remember
Like, fuck off.
Moraine's on a quest to find the fucking dragon reborn too, right?
Yeah,
and the people she thinks might be the dragon are lost to her right now.
And she's hanging out
Yes.
here waiting for this
Yeah, with dead
fucking
cunts.
like how much prep did
Yeah.
they do for this?
Heaps. This would have taken them ages. I don't know anything about TV, right? But I imagine because they put so much importance on this, like they've panned out this, like, oh, this is the best shot ever. They must have like spent a bit of time getting it set up, right? Yeah.
Well, they swept
So
the
they must.
fucking snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So they must have thought in a perfect circle. They must have thought this is really important. It's fucking not, obviously.
Yeah.
and
This
you
was
guys remember the
this
shot
was
from the trailer too, right? Because they went from this to the dance at Emmons Field, which was
Yeah.
also kind of in a circle,
Yeah.
and then the hall of the
Yeah.
tower also, and they basically did these circle cuts like to symbolize the wheel of time or something like that. But
Yeah, and that's I think that's the thing. That's the thing, isn't it? Right? Like that's what we're dealing with really here is like people that like they only care about symbols, symbolism, like this surface sort of stuff. They don't understand what's underneath the surface, like the real mechanics of what makes it work and what makes it tick. And that's I think that's like true for life, yeah, with these people at the moment.
That's
Just
why I
they,
tried to bring
they
up.
it's 100%. It's style over sense.
Yeah, that's why I tried to bring
yes,
up
that's it.
the art school
Yeah,
student, right? The art school student
yeah,
who's just like learning how to do these like, these sort of classic like archetypal, sort of trope shots. And they're like, "Oh yeah, like this is how you do a whatever." And they're just injecting them in.
yeah.
There's no actual substance. It's just, art school shot after art
This
school
is what I
shot
think
after
it
art
is.
school shot.
Yeah,
Like you're turning in a project and you have to have sort of like, you have to have your sort of your kind of film book to show. It's
that's exactly what this looks like.
I,
Yeah,
am
the
I
whole
the
season
only
looks
one
like
that thinks that a lot of these bodies look too short to be fully grown? Like I hear you if like they're not bodies at all,
mhm.
but holy shit, like they didn't dig out the graves more than 2 feet. Well, they didn't make their pillow corpses taller than like 4 feet.
So
Yeah, it's maybe 5. Yeah, but
so
that.
Probably
Well,
one scoop from an excavator each.
I think I think that we saw them put a body into him. The only ones we saw was the King of Gildan and
Yeah,
Carini, right?
and
Um,
maybe one more. But I mean, just
and
look at
all
some of
of
these bodies up at the top. They're not tall at all. They're
I
like
think that could be an angle. That could be an angle
that's
of the
true.
drone
Yeah,
shot because to me they do look like they're all about the
yeah.
same
It does look
size.
bad at the bottom too. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're all about the same size. There's the gap at the top, obviously.
God.
Contrast. Oh
Okay,
Fuck
now
it.
we gotta
It's just
skip.
the intro.
We gotta skip the intro.
Oh, come
This is
on,
like a
man.
full 90 second. No, we already did this, Dan. We're not doing this again.
There we go.
That's fair. That's
But
fair.
in the classic here, we'll leave this last little bit for everybody.
Fuck you, Pips.
Oh, guys, it's so good. Nice resolve. The spinning threads, the wheel of time. That's so good.
I think Oz from Night's Watch pointed this out, but that snake's not even eating his
I
own
know.
tail.
I
It's just
know.
going in a
Right.
coil.
It's like
tail
he's
is a-
trying, but the tail's not there. It's like, oh, I almost got it. No, I can't fucking get the tail even. How shit am I?
It's so offensive.
Right. Even the snake is dumb.
Fucking Radjar.
Boo.
All right, who's directing this? All right, Alex, do you have anything to say about this
Um,
person, or is this just a complete no name? Just
I've never heard that name in my life.
good. Okay. Major franchise, guys. Major franchise.
Oh,
That's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear the pain. I wanted to hear the pain in the voice.
but what did they skip? Like
everything.
play
Everything.
everything.
They skipped the
Play
whole
for your
book.
supper.
Everything
Play
but
for your
Bad
supper.
for Ranch.
Like all of it.
The Eye of the World only covered about a month. They literally
Yeah,
skipped the
fucking
whole
A.
book.
Yeah, word. They did. Because
But
that's right, man. The last like half third of it happens in about
2-3
5
days.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so so Dan, I know you said kind of at the
Yeah.
outset that you like reading the Brandon Sanderson finale, and that's kind of your
Yeah.
go-to. The Eye of the World is it for
Yeah.
me. And
That's awesome, man.
one thing that I really appreciate about what Robert Jordan did as a writer in The Eye of the World is the scarves scene. So the whole 3 or 4 chapters that is them getting to Camelin, the whole play for
Yeah.
your supper, it is
Yeah.
it's temporally disjointed,
Yeah.
where he actually repeats that scarf scene twice, and it's so confusing when you read it, and then when you read about it, and people are saying, "Yeah, that's the point." Robert Jordan wants to make the reader as confused as his characters.
As possible. Yeah. And
And
that's where he stands apart from like pretty much well, most any. I don't think there's any other and I've read a lot. I'm sure you have too, but I'm not sure anyone has ever captured that ability to confuse the reader as much as what the character is supposed to be confused at the time as you're reading it, right?
yeah,
And
Yeah.
I literally just spoke about this with my little girl hours ago now. But yeah, today, like literally, I was like, this part where they skipped a month is the stupidest shit ever because like everything that happens in that month is so important for these characters, and that's what the story is supposed to be about. It's about these characters.
yeah,
So
and
you're right.
so I was legit confused when I read it. I thought it was a mistake. And then
Yeah,
after I'm reading it, I go online and I get people like answering the question, why does the scene with the scarves happen twice? And then it just gets you a further appreciation for reading the books. And this is what
yeah,
I really don't like people
yeah.
like even Massara was saying that the first 3 books are too generic and they're kind of
Yeah,
adventure
what the
fantasy.
fuck? What are you what Oh yeah, don't even
She's
start
on
me about
crack,
that.
but like
Yeah,
I
proper.
someone who has that view of the early books, I don't think should be anywhere near this IP.
I
No,
think
and
But
if you were and if you no, that's
it
true. And
really
if you're
struck
being
me that
honest,
yeah, Robert Jordan, he put a lot of interesting literary devices and literary techniques and ideas, and he put a lot of it into The Eye of the World, in my view.
I agree, man. And I agree. And if you for you to come out with the opinion of like this is generic fantasy, you can't really call yourself a fan of the
well,
works if that's your opinion. You can't.
I mean,
You've literally disqualified yourself, mate.
that's the argument of people who want to change the work in the first place, right? Like
Yeah, that's right.
if you want to change a thing, that means you don't like it as it is. Like
Correct.
I don't think that should
Why
be a
is this hard?
controversial statement.
It's
But
not, mate. It's not.
but here's the other thing is it it was an interesting way that Robert Jordan got the reader confused, given he's
Yeah.
in a written medium. How much easier would that actually be to do in a
Yeah,
television medium in order to
I
sow
reckon it'd be
confusion,
easier.
right?
Yeah, I think it'd be. I don't
He,
know. I've never made
he,
a TV show, but I reckon it would be. Yeah.
Well, that's one of the amazing things about television is audiences for television are very willing to accept something not making a ton of sense
Yeah.
so long as there's a big explosion.
Yeah.
Which is
So,
great.
Which they are, mate.
You have a lightning bolt sort of blow up the side of an inn, and
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a
then
good idea.
yeah. All right,
and I
guys.
mean,
That sounds like a great
you can
idea.
cut back and forth and have them all disjointed, and it kind of gets out of
Yeah,
time. And then, kind of at the end of the episode, you have Rand being like, "What day is it? Like, what the heck is going on?"
yeah.
And I don't know.
All
talk
right.
about a perfect opportunity
This
to
is
show
just
off Matt's character. But I guess one of the things that I find so baffling about the idea that, like, oh, the first 3 books are boring generic fantasy, and then they talk about the Shadow Rising like it's, some groundbreaking thing. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, if you're
Mm.
going to say that the first 3 books are a just taking Tolkien and doing something, just adjusting the tropes a little bit, how is the Shadow Rising not just taking Dune and adjusting the tropes a little bit? Like,
That's exactly right, man. That is 100% correct. What you
Mm.
just said is 100% correct, mate. But these, yeah, they don't
I
want to
don't think
Well,
say that.
either argument is accurate, but if that's the criteria through which you look at things,
Yeah, and that's what it is. Yep.
yeah.
And it is though. It fucking is. It is. that's what makes it beautiful because like RJ takes like things that we know and makes them ridiculously more uh relevant to you, to what you are, like into your circumstances, like in the real world, and that makes it somehow more real. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, it is what it is.
All right, let's press.
They, yeah, and they don't even do 1 month later correct because what's the first thing we see?
Well,
Fat
it's
man on the
fall.
horse with the bald
Wait,
head.
wait, wasn't it just snowing?
Uh, no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
don't
month
pay
ago.
any attention to that.
That was a
Don't,
month
don't
ago.
worry. They traveled north, so there's less snow for some reason.
Yeah.
But no wagons, no supplies. Why are there people walking alongside their horses?
Why are
Those
they
motherfuckers will
leading?
be very tired
Why are they leading horses with riders?
because
All
they're
three
women,
of those
they're girls.
people, all three of those people are leading a horse with a rider on it. I have a theory for you. Those three actresses, or two actresses and one actor. The last one looks like it might be no. Is that a
Nah,
warder?
it's a girl.
I think the last one.
That'll be girl.
Okay,
It'll be a
so
girl, mate.
those three women can't ride horses.
They
That's what
only
this
get
is.
on if a horse handler's
That's what
leading
this
their
is.
horse
Yeah,
for them.
those are not actors. Those are actual horse handlers. Those are people who are like, yeah, this person doesn't know how to ride, and so I need you need to lead the horse because they don't know how to ride. Which is great headcanon for me because growing up around horses, if you can't ride a horse at a walk, I think you're missing parts of your brain.
Yeah.
They're a massive bus.
Like the horse will walk itself. Like
Yeah.
you just oh god.
I like how Kareni's boots have a horse all to herself.
See
Yeah, fucking
that one should have a person leading it.
yes.
No, we're gonna
Thank
make you
you.
walk all the
Correct.
way to Tarvalon leading this horse. Well, you have a spare one. No, that's for
Oh,
these boots.
that's what
Fuck.
Pips. It's funny you say that, mate, because my daughter, who's fucking 13, mind you, right? She said she was looking at this like I don't know, a couple of hours ago. She's like, "That horse has got no cunt." Well, she didn't say that word, but she said that horse has got no person like moving it, and why are the boots facing backwards? And I'm like, "Oh, that's that magic bitch's horse. She's dead. They're her boots. They're facing backwards." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "I don't know. It doesn't have to make sense. It just is what it is, right?" So she noticed that too, Pip. So you spot on, mate. That's just a complete bullshit. It's like
Oh.
that's the one horse that needs someone leading it because it's got boots. All right, they're sentient. They're sentient AI boots. All right, sweet as, mate. We've like entered the next phase of human transhumanism already. Sweet as.
Steppin's leading
Carry
that
on.
one, but it's just what a dick move. It's like you're one of these Aes Sedai attendants, and you're like, "Hey, can I ride?" No, you have to walk the whole way.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you. We have symbolism to account for.
Yes,
I
that's
will
the most
say
important thing.
so the backward boots is actually like that is a fairly broad in the real world. That's a fairly broad tradition for somebody who has fallen in combat. Um,
For cowboys?
among cavalry units all the way back to like Genghis Khan to like the West. I mean, literally putting the
Yeah,
boots
sweet.
backwards in the stirrup is actually a pretty well cross culturally established thing. Because the main thing is like you're out on a campaign as cavalrymen, right? You're going to
Got
bring the
it.
horse back with you for sure, right? You're not going to
Oh.
bring a rotting body back with you, right? Because it's probably weeks or months to return to wherever you're from potentially. So like you
Mauled
would,
by coyotes by now.
yes, true. So you would burn or bury the body and you take the horse back because horses are super valuable, especially a trained sort of war horse or a cavalry horse. Um, and the boots backwards in the stirrup actually is pretty well established. Uh, I don't hate that they did it. I hate that it's I don't know. I'm conflicted on this because from one standpoint, Like if that had just been a thing and like kind of an Easter egg that was like in a shot, and so we didn't have the whole Steppin episode. Like for example, Steppin took his horse and rode off into the Blight to go, fight the Dark, right?
That would have been great. I would have
And
been
then
fine with that.
and then Karenni's horse, with the procession of Aes Sedai with Logain in Camelin, where it should have been, and Karenni's horse had the boots backwards. I would have actually been like, okay, that's
Same.
yeah.
Okay, so Aes Sedai are not a cavalry. They're not a
Like,
cavalry unit, so I don't know if you'd get like that deep into it. But I mean, there were Aes Sedai that died with capturing Logan. But
yeah. Anyway,
I mean, remove the serving girls, and this is a fine bit of symbolism. Like you were so close, Raginor. You almost had one thing you did right.
yes, that's kind of where I'm at as well.
All right, let's move on from this. Although let's note, where's their supplies, their camp supplies?
Yeah, no, they're gone, mate. They don't exist. Just don't worry about it.
Okay.
So so just so
Good
we're all
question.
clear.
Where are they?
So just so we're all clear, right? Leandrin is literally the head of this expedition.
Yeah, head bitch, man. Head.
However,
bitch.
later when she attempts to blame everything on Moraine, everyone's gonna fucking buy it. Like, sure, yeah, the buck stops with random bitch number 3.
Yeah. That's how we refer to him from now on. Random bitch 1, 2, 3.
All right. So yeah, we saw the whole entire train there, and
so if you pause there, do we think that was a portal stone?
Yes, I do.
It might be.
Are we gonna see it again here? I don't think so. I hope not.
I reckon it was. Why do you reckon it wasn't?
So the portal stones are described differently.
Yes.
So and like I don't think they're worn or weathered.
Exactly. They're like basically
what the fuck is
you can't break them. They shouldn't be weathered like that. I
What's that? Just like a signpost.
Yeah, I think that was just a signpost. Yeah.
Right.
I think that was just generic fantasy signpost. The symbol that was on it was a nothing symbol. Like it would have made sense almost if it had like the flame of Tar Valon on it, because they're supposed to be close to Tar Valon or Tar Valon. And so it could have been like a border marker for like the area under the White Tower's kind of protection. That would have almost made sense and would have showed like, hey, they're approaching the White Tower. Instead, it was like just a weird like Celtic knot or something. Like it's
it was.
Is there even a creek running there that they go over the bridge for, or did they just make a bridge?
How's that dude with the? Hang on, go back for a second.
Okay.
You have to go back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Here, I'll go back a little bit and we'll see.
Just a little. It only takes a little bit. Just hang on.
I think there might be. That might be. So there's the weird Celtic knot, and nothing else.
I'm talking about the bloke that's like walking with the horse, mate.
Yeah.
Look at his costume. Look at this one. All right, so old mate here with the turban and the blue shirt and the fucking beard and the belt. I don't know what the fuck that is, but like this is
it's a
this
girdle.
is literally
the
high school
term is a
cosplay
girdle.
101. A girdle, thank you. It's a girdle. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Correct. What? This is high school cosplay 101. Fuck off.
Actually,
how much do they?
The Wheel of Time cosplay of the sort of play for your supper, we linked it in one of our previous videos descriptions, and we talked about it in the live stream last night. Was better.
Better. Oh. Well, I'm not surprised because that's ridiculous. Fucking.
Why is Logain on a leash?
Why not?
Like he's been gentle. Like fucking hell.
Were you tied to the horse?
Oh, there it is, guys. There it is. The penis tower itself. Just standing, just standing erect.
Waiting. Waiting for absolution.
It does have 2 balls. We'll point that out in the next shot.
No, it does.
Oh, God.
So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the behind the scenes of the amount of VFX work that went into making Tar Valon is mind blowing. Like it is one of the most detailed, uh, things I have ever seen a production company make. And people will defend this show like, "Oh, you can't say anything bad about it because look at how much work went into making this."
Yeah,
That's
fuck
not how
their
that
work,
works.
man.
You putting
Yeah,
in
but
work doesn't mean
No,
it's good.
you're
well,
correct.
I
Man,
think
heaps of cunts
the
do a lot of work and be no good.
well, I think even the quality of the CGI, the establishing shot of the city is damn good.
Eh,
My point on
Yeah.
this,
No, I
eh.
agree.
I think I've seen shots of Total War, Medieval 2 Total War that looked better.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
my point is more um, me being critical of the show in general is not an insult to the people that put in the work. The
Yeah.
idiots who wrote this and produced this is an
They fuck.
insult to the people that put in the amount of work to make that happen. Like
Yeah.
that argument drives me insane.
Well,
I'm with you,
it's
Alex, man. They screwed the pooch hard.
I mean
They screwed those people over bad.
it's the casting shield just for the production staff. You can't say
Yeah,
bad things
correct.
about this, or you're saying bad things about the individual people as individuals in their personal life. You're saying bad things about them. It's like, no, I'm not. Like, that person can be a totally fine actor and a totally fine human being. I'm not making a qualitative, argument there. I'm just saying that this show is shit. And they're like, so you're a racist. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, fucking
Come on.
okay.
I've been staring at this tower for the last 2 minutes, but that is the most penis looking tower I've ever seen. Like it
Yeah,
has
Dan,
a
you got a
fucking
problem,
head.
mate.
There's one
Does.
there's one that's better.
Knob, mate.
There's one that's better. Anyone who has seen How I Met Your Mother knows the one that I'm talking about.
True enough. True enough. That was a good gag, but I mean, what the like? It's a giant wang.
They
It has a head.
do they have a little, like, a garden with some shrubbery kind of around the base? Is there?
A
We'll watch for that
strawberry.
in the next shot.
No.
Yeah. They might have shaved the balls.
Why would
Yeah, like-
anyone? Why would the two of them think of Tarvalone as home?
Because they haven't been doing their 20-year quest.
Okay.
at all.
She said, "This brooding man at my side," while
Yeah.
Lan is laughing. Lan was
Yeah,
smiling
he's
and
been
laughing.
Yeah, he's been so brooding, hasn't he? Like so brooding.
Like, even look at
He's-
the horse. The horse perked its ears up. Like, what does this bitch just say?
I'm surprised that Mandub didn't like headbutt the bitch, mate.
Oh.
Uh,
All right, we gotta get going on this. We're taking too long.
Look,
and we're not
look,
drinking.
the brooding man. Lan chuckles.
Chuckles.
Fuck.
Yeah, so much fun.
They also have crossed this bridge twice. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Probably going back.
They crossed the bridge twice. It was the same signpost. It was the same bridge. They crossed it twice.
So smart.
Steppin's a strong man.
Women affirming women.
Steppin doesn't exist in the story, mate.
He'll
They'll
deliver her ring to the
ring
tower.
to the tower.
What the fuck?
Why?
Is that something they do?
No.
Yeah,
They
that's
melt
no,
it?
not.
We have
They
to
made
melt
it
it
up.
down like a fucking Lord of the Rings burning
Yeah.
the One Ring.
They fucking made it up. They just like they
There it
made
is.
this shit up.
There it is, guys. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the crack
Yeah, they're-
in the little sort of Celtic knot at the top. Look at the stones around the thing. Look at the tree line behind it. This is literally the exact same shot.
Shot. Yeah, you're right.
I think they're saying that it's just a
Oh,
really
far out.
long procession and that
Except Steppin's
meandering-
crossed it twice.
Has he?
Yes.
I've got deja vu. It's on.
Wow.
Don't make me replay
Steppin
it.
wasn't.
You guys watching
you
this
don't have
you guys watching this on YouTube, you can replay it and tell me if I'm jacked up. This
No,
is the
you're
same
right.
shot.
I think you're right, but I'm
It
pretty
is,
drunk.
but-
But I reckon you're right.
There's him on his leash. There's her in the front. Like,
You think the other four are already there?
If they are, we'll find them.
Oh,
how?
And if they aren't,
fuck this
we'll
conversation.
find them.
Where
How? She's not even looking for them.
fucking what is this bullshit? Seriously, fuck. Oh.
I like to think
Ah.
that this side eye is for the person who wrote this script, and even she is like,
what are you
nobody's
doing?
fucking buying this, right? Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Like really,
She-
you,
yeah,
you expect
she's
me
been
to
chir-
deliver this seriously?
She's been trying to
And
find
she
him for
should be
20
like
years.
that. She should be like that. She's like a multi-million-dollar actress or whatever.
This is the moment where Moraine looks across the set at her agent and is like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
Yeah, and you know what? That's a great still because
Moraine
it looked like
hasn't
that.
killed her agent for the disaster that has been her career since Gone Girl, and clearly there's nothing that can be done.
Second shot. There's the balls.
Oh, God.
So straight
Put it
up,
away, Dane.
people make the joke about how, if Tarvalon is a vagina and Dragon Mount
is.
is a dick, this show
No,
literally put a second dick.
This
I know.
show made a DP joke on
Love
its own.
Yeah, they just wanted to do the whole, they wanted to find the whole cycle of life, mate. Just come right back around on itself.
Oh, it's too fucking good. All right, guys, here we go. We're about to see a month of travel stains and stuff on.
Robin Hood
No.
Rand! Robin Hood Rand enters the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
The last time we saw them, they had horses.
Fuck that. He's got a cloak now. He swapped the horse for a
no,
Robin
because
Hood cloak, mate.
they had the horses at Elsa's farmhouse, and then they ran away without the horses.
They ran away
No, they
on
got on
horseback.
They got on the
Okay.
horses for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So he switched that out for a Robin Hood outfit
All right. So
from some local costume bloke.
So did they eat the horses or sell the horses? This is an important question for me, guys.
I think he ate them.
No, they probably, maybe they sold the horses, and that's how they can afford to stay at the inn that costs 30 times as much as the wine spring back home.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what's the last? If you got a long ass journey to do and it takes you a month, what's the last thing you get rid of? Your fucking horse.
Yep.
Fucking A, mate.
Yep.
Also,
Also,
all but 3 of your arrows, but
you leave your bow strung though, for sure. That you definitely do that.
Absolutely.
Also, the sword that Rand has sticking up there, sort of like inappropriately kind of sticking up. It's
very much so.
It's vertical in front of his left hip.
It's a strong-willed man.
Well, what
man.
I'm saying is that you
walk into it.
You wouldn't be able to walk with a sword like that. A sword has to be angled to your side to be able to walk. Yeah. Is it the same guidepost and the same bridge? Nope, different. Okay, different guidepost. It's dark,
Let's
Matt,
go
guys.
watch Matt abuse some children for
guys,
a second.
get it? Matt is going dark. He's being mean to kids now.
It's dark,
Yeah,
Matt.
that's right.
Get it? Get it?
I get it.
Oh man.
Come on, you can't tell me that these people have not experienced like high paranoia at some point in their lives that they can't like work out how to put it on TV, for fuck's sake.
Did he
They're
just say?
like, no, I'm just gonna bash the kid. No, it's not. You don't have to do that.
This has to be a subtitles thing, right? He didn't say mate. You all right?
He did.
He did. He absolutely said that.
It wasn't.
Yeah, he might have.
It wasn't Matt.
Nope.
It was mate. It was mate. 100%.
What the?
It was mate. And you know what? Egwene is like an Australian person. She's an indigenous person from this country, my country, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. We use mate all the time, whatever. But they've somehow put it into the script here, which makes no sense. But anyway, carry on.
I think British people use it too, and this is that same British.
They try to. They think they do, mate. They think they do.
I just wanted to
Therefore,
highlight.
shit,
I just wanted to highlight this. I think this is the first in-world swear that we've seen.
A bloody?
Yeah.
No, I think Rand says bloody back in Breen Spring in episode 3. Rand says bloody. I'm pretty sure.
Where does he say it? But
bloody is a British swear, guys. They did not get this right. It just so happens that swearing in world and swearing out of world are the same in this one instance.
Fair.
True enough.
Also, bloody wet nurse sounds gross.
Fuck yeah. That sounds like a period gone wrong.
This is so ridiculous.
It's on the wrong side too.
Yes, it is.
Well, they might be coming from from the east.
No, I
Like,
checked the maps, mate. They're looking at it from this. They're looking at it from
Yeah,
the
you'll
wrong
see
way.
it.
Alright.
I think you see them together in the same shot here, right? There it is.
They
Okay.
just found a bluff.
So
Yeah,
It should be there. It should be to their right shoulder. It's on their
okay.
left shoulder.
So there's one of two possible options, right?
Because that's North Harbour down there. Yeah.
One of two possible options is that this is them on the sort of correct side of Tarvalon. So this is the Camelin Road, but it's weirdly coming from the north instead of from the south. And this is a sunset sort of approaching the afternoon, right? Or they crossed over and are on
I think that's it.
and are on the Kyrian Road. And this is a sunrise sort of shot.
It's bullshit. It's what this is. That isn't that. That's the fucking little donut cutout at the front there.
The
That
bigger
should be. If they're standing on this side, I don't know. I looked at the map and I was absolutely certain that I was right about this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I was absolutely certain I was right. And I was like, no. If the half moon cutout shape at the top of the vagina is down here, which is Tarvalon, let's be honest,
Yep.
then the fucking mountain should be on the other side of the dick. That's what it is.
Yep.
Vagina, right hand side of dick. If fucking like half moon cutout shot his bottom of vagina. That's what it is.
Well, South Harbor also has a cutout.
It does. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm 90% sure wasn't Dragon Mount to the
Southwest.
southwest. So that means that they have to be northeast
Yes.
of the city,
Yes.
which
Yeah.
They're not. They're south.
is completely wrong because they would
Yeah,
they would have come from the west.
Yes.
So Pips, you're wrong. This isn't the Kyrian road. This would actually be the road from Shinar.
Like
That's
so
the
I
only
said
way this
I
angle
said the
makes sense.
Kyrian Road as in like thinking they had to be on the Kyrian
on
side
that
of the
si-
river. But yeah,
on
they're
that side of
clearly
the Erangel. Yeah,
they're clearly north of the city, correct. Yeah.
the Aranin, right?
Yes,
Aaron
they're northeast, so they went entirely around it rather than going right in.
Which I mean, hey, Ragnar gets some credit here. It would have taken a month longer for them to do that.
Yeah.
But
So
this is also the first. So Rand is just seeing Dragon Mount now for the first time. So he did see it when he crossed the river. So they went way the fuck around.
Yep.
But this is the bigger issue: is how the hell does Rand remember Dragon Mount? Like, how does he think it's familiar?
it's the only explanation is like a weird like Luz Theron's past lives, but then
Yeah,
Luz
at
Theron
least
would
they've gotta
have to
do
have
that.
seen Dragon Mount after he murdered himself to form it, which makes no sense either. It doesn't make sense. I mean,
I'll actually pay that, but like if you're doing a TV show, like I'll pay that. I'll give that. I don't give it much. I don't give this show fuck all, but I'll give it that. Like if you're trying to show that Rand is like connected to this dude from like 100,000 years ago that blew up and created a mountain, and then like they go past this mountain and he goes, that looks fucking familiar. I'll pay that.
if it
Personally,
wasn't
I'll pay that.
for everything else,
Yes.
I'd kind of
Yeah.
I'm with you.
That's fair.
To me, I think they're implying that a newborn can actually have memories of a place, which is it's just ridiculous. But and it comes back in the dragon reveal, right?
That's
It's like
true
hinting all along he was the dragon. Why? Because he recognized Dragon Mount from his infancy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so I'm going to ask you guys a question.
I agree. They could have done better.
I'm going to ask you guys a question here. Okay, look at the trees on the shore. And then look at the size of the city and the opposite shore and like the details on the tops of the trees you see on the opposite shore. And then look at the lengths of the bridges and tell me that this city is not entirely in trebuchet range from the shore.
No, you can't say that.
And
It
that
is
the
100%.
like
You
it,
could throw a rock from there.
yeah,
Personally.
it's
Yep.
like they
That's
made the
literally
river
100 meters.
they made the river tiny. Like this is such a weird scaled shot. Like it looks like a model that was superimposed. Like which is obviously what it is. It's bad. It's bad CGI, right? But it's just, I don't know. This shot
You
every
could
time
throw a rock, mate.
yeah, every time I see this, I'm just like Hawkwing would have conquered the shit out of this.
Yeah, we wouldn't even be having this story, mate. Hawking would have just like, so fuck these magic cunts. I'm done with them. We're finished. See ya.
Yeah.
No more magic.
And somehow this tower looks even more like a penis.
Well, it's. I mean, yeah, it's
it's extended into the world.
Where is there room for Elida's tower to be built?
Oh, they're not doing that.
No.
True, they won't because it'll get canceled before then. It'll obviously get canceled before then. True. I'm just saying,
it's always
like,
a minor
I guess they
plot
could
point.
make one off to the side. You know, she could have an extra dick. Be like.
I just say like they made the tower comically too large, right? Like,
Well, I mean, Pips, I think we just have to accept that there's going to be Elida's New Deal, which is going to sponsor, repurposing a lot of these construction projects in order to fix the city.
I'm gonna make the super low rent joke here, guys. But I mean, the White Tower comically too large in this shot. I mean, maybe believable if this was the Black Tower. Great.
I don't know why he looks like Robin Hood, but he does.
All right, here's the great CGI shots, right? This is where all the money went.
Prince of Persia did it better.
Yep.
I did.
You guys are listening to
Good
the amazing soundtrack, right? You guys are all appreciating it, right?
Someone's drunk. Awesome.
Hey, I had to get drunk for you, mate. So that I'm gonna sing.
I know. No, I know.
Okay.
I know. It's just different being on the other end of it for once.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure
all.
it is.
So
I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing. Get prepared for singing, mate.
so again, going back to the idea that the tower is scaled wrong. So the tower here is at the other end of the island, right? So it's the farthest thing in the city that we see in this shot. Look at the size of the windows on the like upper floors of the tower and compare them to the size of the windows on the closest buildings that we see. So unless the tower just decided to make windows that were like comically large, like giant mawing sort of cave entrances that like that's not nowhere in human history do they like things that are made to sort of fit the size of humans, right? Like in every culture that we have any evidence of. So windows are about the same size. They fit within a range, right? So when the windows on the White Tower look within proportion to the White Tower, but they're the same size as everything in the foreground, that means that everything in the White Tower's scale is actually like several times too large.
That's actually, Pips, one of the things that they talked about was when they originally did this, I forget if it was Ragnar or somebody didn't like the layout.
They just stretched it. They just made it bigger.
Well, they not only did they did that, they scaled it.
What is this, a White Tower for ants? It needs to be at least 3 times this big.
But they also added like the mountain that it sits on. So you'll notice like the bottom of the White Tower is like significantly higher than the roofs of the lower buildings.
Yeah. Which is not how an island in the middle of the river works.
No, not remotely.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to move. Guys,
anybody who is defending the CGI construction of the city. Hey, look, guys, it's Shadow Goth.
Yeah, I know.
Blood and ashes.
Please don't say that again.
There it is. And then they never say it again.
Yep.
It only took us to episode 5. All right, so are we saying that they look adequately awed by the size of a large city?
No. First
yeah.
stranger he meets, he's like, "Can I have some of that?" And I'm gonna eat it, and it's free because she's like the
And
free
it's
sample
sushi,
lady.
man.
It's because it's Tar Valon, so it's free because they have every. It's like Star Trek. You know, you got synthesizers and stuff.
Okay.
Uh, I will say
And it's sushi, man. My daughter, Chelsea, said, make sure you tell them that they gave him sushi in Tarvelon. And I'm like, that makes no sense. And I
unrefrigerated
agree. I
sushi.
agree with her.
That's
It's
gotta
fucking
be.
sushi, man. Keep rolling, you'll see. It's sushi. It's just sushi.
What is it?
Sushi.
Dunno. It tastes good.
Oh yeah, I know. Sushi. Look at that. That's sushi, bro.
It looks like it has a string wrapped around the middle too.
River fish. I don't know. Ew.
um, what do we think? What do we think of the? Okay, so a lot has been made about the fact that the latter half of the season had all the COVID restrictions, and that's why there were insufficient extras, and that's why all of this other stuff, right?
Not true. Episodes 7 and 8 are the only ones that were COVID affected.
Even that. That's bullshit.
Then a lot of shills are straight up lying about it then, because episode 4 is
absolutely are.
cited as a COVID restriction episode, specifically with the size of the army
Yeah,
and
but
everything else.
They
they
100%
define COVID
are
restricted
lying
as
to you.
COVID exists.
This is the same people that say that the writing was only bad because of COVID and them having to rewrite it. Like, no, absolutely not.
There might have been
uh,
some reshoots.
They
right?
had to break filming between episodes 6 and 7, and that's when Matt didn't come back. Thus the jarring break for him.
Yeah.
All right, well then
Last man on the show.
then this shot in that story then puts paid to the idea that they couldn't have sufficient extras to make the original cold open with Logain or the attack on the Aes Sedai camp look anything but laughably bad.
Yes.
All right. We got to get moving, guys, because I think we're taking way too much time on this.
Yeah, sorry, man.
No, it's okay. It's Pips' fault.
There's just so much badness.
It is. There's so much, but
Tom told me about this place. What?
Off camera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. Let's. Oh, hang on. I could talk about this for 25,000 hours. Fuck.
All right,
No.
distill it down into one main comment.
All right. I'll
You can talk
distill
over
it.
it.
They just fucking took, like Tom, telling Rand and Matt to go to Basil, and they just fucking like implanted it in Tarvalon
All right.
in this
You guys,
place, which is bullshit. It's like fuck.
do you guys see Pat and
Ah.
Fane?
Yep.
Yeah, and you're gonna see him again in a minute.
Left side of the shot, the whistling. Yep, Pat and Fane.
That's
Yeah,
actually that's one good thing they did about this show, mate.
But the
yeah, I mean, we said this
the
before.
other
Pat
point.
and Fane is one of the few like decent
Yes.
things they've done. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Let's turn.
How does
How many of you caught it the first time?
I caught the
I caught
whistling.
it the second time.
I didn't see him standing there the first time, like watching this the first time. I caught the whistling and then I saw him later.
I
Yeah, I
didn't
caught
see
this
this
the
at
second
all
time.
until I read Sneed's review of the episode because I was completely fucking smashed. I didn't see it.
Nice.
Whatever. Like, but anyway. How does Tom
I saw
mention the
the
Queen's
second
blessing in the
time.
books?
Wow.
When
As he's running
yeah,
out to meet the
he
fate, and he
shoves
yells
he
at
shoves
the boys.
shoves the loot
Yep.
case into their hands and tells
Yeah.
them to go to the Queen's blessing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good moment in the books, throwaway line in the show.
What's funny
Exactly.
is that
And that's how it works for most of it, mate. A good
Yeah.
moment in the books and the throwaway moment in the show. They just take shit, they turn it into crap, and they just completely disrespect it. And we're gonna see Fane again here. There he is. He's right
so
here on
that's
our
his
bottom
hand.
right-hand corner.
So
Yeah.
this is the shot that I saw him in. I didn't see him in that. So like I recognized that. I didn't see him standing there prior to it.
Yeah. That's
Night
actually
here,
cool. That's
more
actually pretty
expensive.
cool TV. Seen from two different angles. I like that. That's actually alright. But that's the one good thing out of 1,000 shit things.
But that line that Rand just said makes no sense because he would like the people that didn't have enough coppers to rub together in Breen Spring now can buy a room for a night that costs them out as much as a month would back home.
Well, they sold 2 horses.
That's the only way it works.
I like that Rand's sword seems to be like it seems to be a short sword anytime they don't intend on having him draw it. It's probably because he like couldn't walk around with an actual one, and so they like it's like the wooden gun from the other guys. Like they give him a little short wooden sword when when like it's not gonna matter and they need him to walk.
That fucking coat. All right,
Sorry.
let's move forward.
Yeah, that coat.
Man, I would be so gun shy about putting down my sword after the adventures of Dana.
What the fuck? Yeah, true. What?
Tell me again.
Why is everything about Rand dirty except for his clothes? Like his face and his hands, if you go back a bit.
I think we
It's
saw
like-
it. Yeah.
Why the fuck is everything dirty except for his clothes, mate? He's like pristine, like his clothes come out of the wash machine.
They're not even wrinkled.
But-
Look at like the clothes he's wearing. It's not even wrinkled.
They're perfect. The clothes are perfect.
Well,
Cosplay.
he's been doing laundry.
Yes,
Little girl
it is cosplay.
on the farm.
It wasn't you, Matt. It wasn't you. Tom and I both saw it.
Tom's not here.
Yes. No, he's not here. That
You left him to die. Oh.
Oh man.
Why was Matt handled with all the subtlety of the idiot who pets his pet rabbit to death?
Pretty good question, man, because he is the best character ever. Literally. Like, fuck him.
This
Tess,
doesn't.
you got to run us forward, man.
All right.
We could talk over a lot of this.
You know you didn't kill that family.
Yeah.
You would never hurt that little girl.
Suspicious
Just
Matt. Suspicious Matt would not have. Hey, look, the harbor's shaped different.
Oh. No. There's a little moon shape.
Yeah, the wall in the first shot, the wall didn't extend all the way to the harbor mouth. They just had towers at the entrance.
Let's just take note of these sets because they're going to rehash these pillars and the statues over and over.
God, we need to
They're
get
gonna rehash these for 5 years, mate.
we need to get Press B for Balefire on for some of these
Yeah.
because her rant about this hallway
Mate.
is
Yeah,
epic.
dude,
Yeah.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's the best. I love her.
I told you, I care about my people. And you said they'd be here, so where are they? I have eyes and ears watching every gate and
That's your plan?
So she has no plan in case they don't make it to Tarvalon. So these country bumpkins who have never left their village before, I have no plan in case they can't find or can't make it to Tarvalon.
I also like Nynaeve being super pissed. Like, well, they're not here. Where are they? You said they'd be here. It's like, lady, you just saw me get stabbed. I was dying. You were the one that kept me alive. Did you think I'm in control of this situation? Even remotely?
Also,
Should've bashed her.
we just showed up and we had horses the whole time. Why would you think they'd beat us here?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking like
horse.
At least she folded her arms
Oh,
under
God.
her breasts. I'll give her that. There's one arm under breasts folding right there, guys.
That-
That's 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
Fucking shoulder pads.
Yeah, don't know. Yeah, let's not go there, Dane. It's bad.
I just want to point out,
Way more in comparison to those you've always loved.
is this the longest one-to-one character conversation we see in the entire series? I can only think of one that is maybe close, which is Moraine and Egwene talking about Perrin while Perrin is laying there.
Yes.
I think you're right. And I think it's a replacement for what happens in what's supposed to happen or supposed to happen in Valon, right? Where Moraine comes in, where Nynaeve turns up or whatever, and they're like, and all everybody else is supposed to be there.
No, this
You know what I
conversation, I think,
mean?
is.
Okay.
But I think this is where we can
That's
do
what this
our.
is supposed to be. This is where she's saying, like, this is where Moraine's saying, hey, listen, you can do this shit. You've got no choice. Blah blah blah. Come with, this is what it is.
So it's
But
so
in the
much better done in the books, but it's not in Valon. It's
ridiculously so. The boys are trying to get away. The boys are trying to get out the back door. Like Matt's like, let's get the fuck out of here. This is bullshit.
I just want to point out that Moraine just lied again.
What did she say?
When I find your friends, I'll bring them to you. And we know that she finds the friends and does not bring them to Nynaeve. Nynaeve ends up getting found by Loyal and brought to them. And that should destroy her trust in Moraine when she later finds out that like Moraine knew they were there, which she does find out because Moraine confronts her about not bringing them, like all of that, right?
Yeah. Any final thoughts for this section? I know it's been somewhat slow. We've been doing this mostly sober, unfortunately. But yeah, pass it over, I guess, Alex, Pips, and then last word to Aldan.
I have nothing for this. This entire section is just so bad. I'm apathetic towards it. Like this is honestly where I stopped watching the night that it came out.
Yeah.
I didn't care anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm with Alex, man.
Yeah, I think I actually agree with you. I think I said in the last episode that episode 5 is where my stock of hopium ran out. I think I watched this episode and was just like completely over the show. I think this is also the episode where my wife started refusing to watch anymore. I had like forced her to watch the show with me. I like a captive audience because I was like, no, like it's such a great series, like and we watched 1 through 3, and she was like seriously questioning my choices in life. And then we watched 4, and she like kind of thought that 4, like she actually thought 4 was like almost a different show. She was like, this is like, it was faster paced. Obviously we've talked about 4. And then she watched 5, and she's like, I don't think she made it all the way through this. I think she like a part of the way through this episode was just like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm gonna leave and you don't have to pause it.
All right, Aldan, this section of this episode, final thoughts, sir.
Yeah, I feel very, very strongly for Pips's wife, mate. That's what I'll say. The poor woman.
All right. Well, we'll cut it here. Again, everyone watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Love you all, and keep an eye open for the next one, which should be landing in a couple days. Cheers.
Walk in the light.